Hi guys, Neil at Italia Autos here. Welcome back to another video on my channel, and in this episode I'm going to be featuring this 145. It is only a little 1.8, but the customer has had it since pretty much new. It has been off the road for a few years, so we do need to do a little bit of recommissioning to it. So let's have a look over it, let's see what needs doing, and then we can crack on fixing it in another episode. Now the customer is kindly letting me film videos on this while it's being repaired. So if I remember rightly, it's been off the road for about 7 years. He has owned it for a very long time. It's very much been his pride and joy because it was his very first Alfa. So we're going to take very good care of this one. It sort of may need a fair amount of work doing to it. The customer would like it to be on the same level as my 145, but we'll see how much needs doing to it. So let's have a look around it. Start with the bodywork and see if anything needs doing here. Other than needing a good wash, it shouldn't be too bad because it did have a full repaint a few years ago. So it may only need a good clean and a polish. Right from the off, it doesn't look too bad. The paint job seems to be really good. It's very smooth indeed. Do you know what? That is pretty good indeed. I'm glad this may actually be one car where I don't need to do any paint work on it. Oh, is that a scratch there? Yeah, it looks like a scratch. So we'll see what we can do with that. It may, if we can get a good colour match, just touch it in and try and get that scratch to disappear rather than repainting that whole panel. But yeah, the exterior seems okay. The wheels and tyres are going to be coming off the car. We do have some special ones to go on, as you probably see in the boot of the car, but I'm not going to show you those. They're going to be a surprise reveal for the end. But yeah, the exterior seems okay. I can't really pick it apart. Normally I've got 20 million faults that I want to repair on it, but this isn't too bad other than needing a good wash and a polish. So the interior, it has had an upgrade done to it with the leather seats and door cards. They are my favourite style ones where you've got the red stitching in the front of the cards. Nice black leather interior in there. It does need a little bit of recolouring here, but that's nothing major at all. He did have a new steering wheel put on it a few years ago, so that is all mint. We do have an airbag light on. So I am going to need to repair that, and we're also going to need to fit another stereo as well because he wants another stereo fitting. And I've just spotted, no, we're all right. I thought the clock screen had gone, but it's the old style. I did forget to mention as well, it's got a Zender kit fitted to it, which is also super rare. It is a genuine Zender kit. And one that you don't see very often at all on these 145s. Now, under the bonnet, other than being a little tired, it shouldn't be too bad. The request from the customer is to tidy up the engine bay, things like repaint the mounts, tidy up all the dust and things like that. Maybe recondition the top engine mounts. He wants the engine cover polishing up as well, and the details repainting. The only sort of worrying little bit I can see in the engine bay is the rust starting to form down here. So what we may want to do is take the engine out of it, strip the front end off, and repaint the chassis legs and also repair them if they need any repairs. The actual suspension turrets are not too bad because they are quite common for rusting through. And they've not been touched, so it is definitely going to be a reasonably conditioned car under the engine bay. We're also going to be doing a full service, cam belt, probably a variator as well, and well, once we get it up in the air we shall see what else needs doing to it. While I'm thinking about it, has anybody managed to find a solution yet for these braking? I know you can glue them in, is there anybody out there selling reproduction versions or even 3D printed ones? So if you've got an idea of where you can get the bonnet stay clip from, let me know, because I would love to buy a bulk batch of them. Now we do have a few issues engine starting and running wise. As you can hear, the starter motor is catching every time you start it up. We've got the airbag warning light on, and the alternator is intermittently failing. When I first pulled it into the unit the other day, the battery light was flickering and going off. Now it seems to be on permanently, so we do need an alternator refurbishment as well. But for an old car, it's quite low mileage. It's only done 96,000, and that should be sort of over 200,000 now if we go by our average mileage. Everything on the inside is nice, clean, works. So there's not really much to do in here apart from fit the stereo and fix the airbag warning light. Let's start under the arches now we've got it up in the air. We have got some rust forming behind here. More than likely by the time that's rubbed down, it will want a little bit of welding. The inside, the turret isn't too bad. We do have some spots of rust coming, but not too bad. That's actually really good at the back there. It's not too bad at all. I won't go over the rear arches because they're all full of plastic arch liner and you can't see anything. So let's just get to the front at the now. Yeah, again, it's going to want some more rust repairs there. Let's turn the wheel round. Okay, yeah, a little bit. That's where it normally goes, down there, and it's starting to go. Also with 145s, it goes behind the arch liners here and here. So I am going to want to pull the arch liners out as well. So far, not too bad. It doesn't need much welding, which is a good sign, because 145s, they're ridiculous for going rusty underneath the arches. So let's get it up in the air. I honestly haven't seen the underside of it yet, so I don't know how bad it is. So it's going to be as much as a surprise for me as it is for you. Okay, it's in the air. Try not to peek. Let's turn the camera around and have a look. We do have an oil leak down the front of the engine. That is more than likely rocker cover gasket causing all that. That's no hardship at all. We do need to repair or replace the bottom of the bumper mounts. The lower chassis leg at the front isn't too bad. We need a radiator desperately. We need a radiator support because it looks as though it's about to fall out and rust away. This chassis leg isn't too bad again, but yeah, it does need looking after before it gets any worse, especially if the customer's going to be keeping it for such a long time. Just by the state of them, you're going to want wishbones and anti-roll bars, but how much they cost, and if the engine's coming out, it's going to be extra easy to change them. Front exhaust pipe looks okay. Let's follow the rest of the exhaust down. We won't look at the floor yet. The cat outer cover's starting to rust away, but that's nothing major. The rest of the exhaust is okay. Rear floor pan, yeah, we've got some rust coming here, but it's nothing I'd stress over. Rear chassis frame looks okay. Let's get to the floor. Oh, it's not that bad. Is it that bad? I don't know yet. What do you guys think? It's original, most of it. It is. Oh, has that been repaired? Yeah, that's been repaired at some point in its life. I see some welds around there. So hopefully that will just want tidying up and a few welds putting in there. It's had a big patch here. Looks like they've done a pretty decent job. Well, we've got some, yeah, welding's going to be wanted all the way down here. So the interior is going to have to come out to repair that side. Rear floor, that's been messed with as well, so they should be okay to be rubbed down and repaired. And again here looks like it's gone. Yep, that's going to be, let's get me poking device. So I've had a little prod around. We've got one hole here. So what will probably happen, I'll clean it all up and see how much needs repairing down to here. By the time I've got the wire wheel onto it, it'll probably be filled with holes, so it sort of won't repairing all the way along there down the front. And this side, is still fairly solid. So yeah, it's just two large patches at the front which need doing. Yeah, right. Front subframe isn't too bad. Could do with a little bit of refurbishment, but that's no hardship. Brake pipes, they're okay there. Let's check the rear brake pipes where they're common for going. That's okay there. And they're also common for going up there, but we can't see too much of those. So yes, not too bad. I almost forgot to go over the rear subframe. Yeah, we're going to want distant pads because they are quite corroded. We're going to want some rear shockers. The subframe, although it's a bit manky, it will survive, but if it wants it taken off and refurbishing, that's something we can do. This shocker again is very rusty indeed, so that's going to want to come out. The rear arms are not in bad shape at all. And distant pads at the front. Yeah, they'll be coming off because they're all very corroded. So there we go. All in all, it's pretty much a good result on this one. It's not too bad at all. It has been very well looked after throughout its life. The floor pan is sort of the biggest issue, but in effect, the car just needs a light recommissioning. It needs the rust repairing on the bottom, and it needs a really big service and probably distant pads and some tyres and stuff. So in all, it's not that bad of a car. It's definitely one which I'd say without any questions at all, because I've seen some right states come in with loads of rust problems that they want repairing, but when they see how much it's going to cost, they soon disappear, and then it's gone forever from me anyway. So I'm going to have a word with the customer, outline what I've found. He's probably going to watch this video as well before I release it to you guys. So in the next episode, we'll be either removing the cam belt or tackling the rust or doing something anyway. So this one's going to be going on alongside the Fiat Coupe, which I'm still waiting for loads of parts for, so there's no update on this one this week. Still waiting for that alternator to come back on the Fiat Coupe. So once I've got that back, I will get that back together and then decide on what's next. But it's going to be pretty much all the front suspension and subframe come off next. So, but yeah, with this one, it's again another long-term project. So the customer isn't in any rush for it back, so it will be done sporadically over the next few months, hopefully. But I am glad that it doesn't need any bodywork. So let me know what you think of it. Is this one of the nice 145s you've seen? Being a Mark 1 as well, it is getting a very rare car indeed. So thanks for watching. Please comment in the video below, and if this is the first time you're watching, please consider subscribing, and I shall see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.